It's back to school season and Clorox is donating 2 million disinfecting wipes to classrooms across America. Because back to school means things can get a little bit messy. Just ask second grade teacher Mr. Torres.
Put me and just one Clorox wipe on a team? We can take on crayon smudges, sticky fingerprints on every surface, sneezes on the door handle, juice box explosion by the sink, snack crumbs, and don't even get me started on the bathroom passes.
Clorox disinfecting wipes. Teacher's #1 wipe.
Think about it. Bathroom passes.
Clean feels good. Based on unit sales data.
Hello, Nigel here. As an owl, I love to be awake all night, but allergy sufferers like you probably don't feel the same. So take Zysol at night to relieve allergies while you sleep. Then wake up fully refreshed for a more productive day. Zysol works fast and offers 24-hour continuous relief from sneezing, runny nose, itchy watery eyes, and itchy nose and throat, so you can enjoy doing the things you love all day long. Be Wisol. Take Zysol at night. Use as directed. Starts working in 45 minutes.
This show is part of the Head Stuff Podcast Network.
Hello there, Grace Alice here, just popping in your ears to say I really hope you're enjoying the G-Spot, and we have a treat for you. You're about to hear a teaser of one of our bonus episodes. So if you like what you hear, you can go and get loads more where that came from. If you sign up to Head Stuff Plus, you get my weekly bonus episodes, so that's double the G-Spot content you're going to get. You get ad-free listening, you get access to the bonus content of all the other Head Stuff podcasts as well, and there's some brilliant ones. And of course, it's an amazing way to support the G-Spot, which I truly, truly appreciate. All you have to do is head over to headstuffpodcast.com, sign up for as little as €5 plus VAT per month. Enjoy! You're born into one body. That body is yours for your whole life. And you can do whatever you want with that body. And that body, your body, has the capacity to bring you so much pleasure. So no one else involved. You literally touching your own body with your own body can be so fulfilling and exciting and pleasurable and healing and all of those things. And if you're telling people or insinuating from a young age that that is somehow wrong, I mean, that is such a powerful way to disconnect us from our own bodies. And it's so sad because whatever about, moralizing and whatnot about having sex with others, like, I still think that should be a mostly sex positive conversation. Although there is room again for talking about risk and, you want to protect yourself from STIs or pregnancy, and you want to be careful about who you're sharing your body with. Do they respect you? Like there's obviously a lot more external factors to consider there. But when it comes to masturbation, like, there's no risk here. It's not a risky behavior. It's just a gorgeous, normal, natural, pleasurable behavior. And somehow, and it's not purely religion. I know it can have roots in religion, but I think it's also a discomfort in general with particularly women or female sexuality. Basically anything actually that's outside of kind of heterosexual male sexuality, being seen as maybe deviant in some way or dangerous in some way. And maybe a real discomfort around, again, people who aren't heterosexual men. And I suppose, they do fall into this as well. They absolutely experience shame as well. I think we all do in different forms, but it can be a bit harsher on women, LGBT people, etc. Again, it's just maybe a fear around people feeling empowered in their bodies and people feeling confident in their bodies. And I suppose that can come from capitalism as well, because we want people feeling less confident in their body. We actually kind of want people to feel disconnected from our bodies. So then we can sell them all these things that will supposedly make them feel better in themselves and make them feel more confident and whatnot. So on and on the cycle goes. But basically, I think the taboo around masturbation is one of the most effective ways to get in there young and disconnect someone from their body. So, that's messaging that they're going to have to kind of grapple with as they get older, and that they're going to have to question as life goes on. And it's just incredibly frustrating, and it makes me really angry, and it makes me really sad. But I look on the bright side, and we are definitely in a more sex positive era, certainly in Ireland, and we're talking about this a lot more. And masturbation comes up so much in my work, I suppose both in my personal life and my professional life, because it's hugely important to me personally. Like, I learned to masturbate when I was very young, but I didn't know what it was. You know, I just thought it was something that felt good. It wasn't anything sexual. I'm autistic as well, so it could have been a way of self-regulating, self-soothing, just a sensory need essentially. And then obviously it became more sexual when I was a teenager and, you know, started to actually think about sexual things or watch sexual things or read, in my case. Give me a sex scene any day. I used to get a book and a novel, and like anytime like sex came up in the novel, I was like, oh, so excited. And like I could get off to that. I was very much someone who read and could imagine and would fantasize, and big fantasizer, which I'll talk about in a little bit, and how you can kind of bring that into your own self-touch practices. But like, again, I learned really young, but at the same time felt there was something shameful about it. I remember writing in my diary. I actually found the diaries a few years back. I was about, I suppose at this stage, I was probably about 10. I could have been a little bit younger. And I had made a New Year's resolution that I have to stop doing the nice feeling thing. That's what it was called in my diary, the nice feeling thing. I literally had made a New Year's resolution to stop doing it. And it's just so, you know, again, it's just so sad to think of that, because there was nothing wrong with it. And no one told me explicitly I had to stop doing it or anything like that. It's just fascinating how, again, shame can just creep in there. And yeah, I just kind of feel sad for younger Grace then, but I'm glad that, you know, I didn't stop doing it. The New Year's resolution did not work. I kept doing it. I'm glad I did. And it has stood to me then in my adult sex life. And, you know, I often talk about, I suppose, sexuality, sexual relationships as a Venn diagram, which I know doesn't sound very erotic or sexy or exciting, but it does make more sense. So often, you know, in the media we hear about like other halves, and you find your other half and blah, 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 which, you know, I don't love all that. Like, if you like that language, that's fine. I just personally, it doesn't really work for me because, again, I'm not a half. I'm already a whole person as I am. But the Venn diagram is like if you envision two circles and they're overlapping, one circle is you and your fantasies and your self-pleasure and your self-touch and your desires, like just everything that makes you you as a sexual being. And the other circle is that of your partner. And then when they intersect, you create a sexual relationship together. And a lot of the time, like, people will come to me for sessions or for help around that intersection of the relationship of, you know, there's something going on with the sexual relationship we have. But often what needs to be worked on is actually our own circle. So our own relationship to sexuality. And I work with a lot of people, and particularly a lot of women, who've actually never masturbated that much. And now they're at all different ages. I work with women in their 60s who've come to me about this, 20s, 30s, 40s, like literally every decade, who haven't really masturbated maybe at all or much. And now they're like, yeah, I want to try it now. I want to figure it out. Maybe I want to buy a toy. And it's just so exciting to see people really kind of pushing back against that shame and really taking ownership and saying, no, like, no one's going to do this for me. Literally, it's self-touch, it's self-pleasure. No one's going to do it for you. I want to learn more about this. And they can see the link between, you know, if I have this good relationship with myself sexually and I know what I like and I know what I want to a degree, I can then translate that into partnered sex and, you know, be able to explain that, what I like, what I don't like, different kinds of touch, etc.
To hear the full episode, sign up at headstuffpodcast.com or click the link in the description.
This show is part of the Head Stuff Podcast Network, a hub for the creative and the curious. Shows are produced in association with Head Stuff and the Podcast Studios Dublin. Find out more or become a member at headstuffpodcasts.com.